Hello everyone, and welcome to this week's watch list preview. Um, I have a couple for inside weeks and a few of them for the two up with the red close. Didn't see much for the two down with the green close. There were a few on there, but nothing that's really that I'm familiar with or that I trade. So I'm not going to put any of those on the list. Not saying they can't be winners. They're just there's tickers I've never heard of, and I know I've never traded, so um, just gonna stay away from those types of things. We have 7, 8 if you count roadblocks either direction. I think that's a pretty good size watch list. So let's take a look and see what we have here. We have Intel. Uh, okay, so here's Intel. Let's take a look. We have the year's pretty ugly. It's an inside followed by a two down. Pretty ugly looking on the year. Pretty nasty looking on a quarter. Pretty inside on the month. Not really doing a whole lot yet this month. And kind of a spinning top on the inside spinning top on the weekly. So I'm going to look for a break to the downside. So we're look for a break below 47.13. And we come down to the daily. And our first target is going to be, why is this showing a different target? This is a different computer. If you look here, this is weird. On the weekly chart, the low was 46.30. I don't know how I ended up with 46.49. So let's move that to 46.30. I don't know where that number came from because I have it set to snap to right to the line, and it automatically sets the price when it snaps. So I don't know how it came up with this. It had to have maybe been a software glitch or something, because I would have snapped it right to this line. Whether I did it on a weekly or daily wouldn't have mattered. I would have snapped it right to this line, and it would have automatically put the price in. When you snap something to the price, you can see here, it automatically puts the price in. You don't have to put that in, and that's how I do all these. So unless maybe when I went way back here, I may have clicked on something that snapped to the wrong price inadvertently. Either way, target one is going to be 46.30, and we go back to the weekly because we have to go so far back for more targets. Target one 46.30. That's where I got it from. It was this here, 46.49. I must have snapped it here instead somehow. I must have accidentally snapped it here. Target 2 is this low here of 45.24. Target 3 is going to be this low back here at 44.55. Target 4 is going to be down here at 43.61. So we have to go back quite a ways to hit that target. That's back in October, but that's what I'm looking at for Intel. Everybody's favorite, Tesla. It's probably not everybody's favorite, but you know the saying. So Tesla looking pretty ugly on the year. It's still inside, but it's just not very good looking. Same with the quarter, not good looking on the quarter. On the month, we're still inside month. Earnings in April, so earnings are out of the way for this next several scans. Inside, kind of not really doing anything on the month, and on the week, we're trying to come back up here on the week. It was an inside week, but it was a green one, and we're going to look for a break above 943.70, and then we come down to the daily to pick up some targets. Target 1 is going to be 987.69. Target 2, 1,004.55. Target 3, 1,041.66. And you can continue on with targets up in here. I didn't go that far. If I get a $100 move, you can bet I'll be out of it by then. Whether or not you want to think best practices and stay till you get a reversal signal. If I'm up $100 a share on Tesla, you can bet I'm going to be taking profit if I'm trading options. You're probably looking at hundreds and hundreds of percent gain if you bought, if you bought the monthlies, you bought the February 18th expirations down here, you'd probably be up, I don't know, 1,000% if you got to here. You can bet I'd be taking profits probably long before that. So that's Tesla. Roblox I have going either direction. This thing's been pretty ugly looking, and there's not a lot of history on it. But on the year, 2 down on the year. Not very pretty, but not a lot of history. The quarter's 2 down, pretty ugly on the quarter. Month, we're still inside on the month. We have earnings on the 15th, so we're good for this week. Earnings on the 15th is actually going to be the following Tuesday, so we're good on earnings for this week. So maybe there may be a run up going into earnings. Let's see what happens. But if we get a 2 up, if we get a 2 up, let's go back to the weekly. Weekly was green, still inside. But if we get a 2 up, then we're going to be looking for targets up in here on a daily. The 2 up trigger is going to be right here. Target 1 is going to be, the trigger is 69.25. Target 1 is going to be 70.13. You could argue that target 2 is right here, but let me see. That's 69.95 and 70.13, 18-cent difference. Target 2 I have up here 71.32. Target 3 is 74.92. There's actually a very small gap right here. I didn't quite catch that, but target 3, like I said, 74.92. Target 4 would be 75.08. So very small gap there, but it's still a gap, so it'd still be a target. And then target 5 would be 80.91. So let me go ahead and put this one in here. T4 inside week up. WEC up. Okay. Now this one will be target 5. So now let me change that on here. So when I put this up here, 70 target 3 is, I'm going to move this out of the way here. Target 3 is 74.92. Target 4 is 75.08. 75.08. Target 5 is 80.91. Okay, and you can see here I changed that now. And if we go to the downside, let's take a look at the weekly again. Break to the downside here. Target 1 is going to be 53.63. That's the only target I have, because that's actually the low. You can, if we break that, you could use broadening formation. You can use the 9 SMA, maybe on the 4-hour chart, maybe something like that. Or you could just use maybe on the 4-hour chart, look for a higher high and use that as an exit. Different ways that you can go about it. You could just continue moving your stops down on maybe the 4-hour, maybe the 2-hour, maybe the 60-minute, whatever you prefer to do. Just keep moving your stops down as it goes down. So that's Roblox. Microsoft. Let's take a look at Microsoft here. Microsoft on the year inside, it's red. On the quarter, 2 down, not very pretty, but it's starting to bounce a little bit. On the month, we kind of had a hammerish candle here, followed by an inside candle so far this month. Remember, we're only a few days into the month, so don't get too excited about an inside candle in a month. And we take a look at the week. We actually went up on the week. It's red, but it's still 2 up. So let's look for a break to the high side, the top side on this. A break of 315.12. Come down to the daily, and we'll grab some targets here. There's our 315.12 break. Target 1 is going to be 320.88. Target 2 is going to be 323.41. Target 3, there's a small gap here again. So target 3 is going to be 326.07, which will be the high of this candle. Target 4 is going to be the low of this candle at 326.12. So there's a 5-cent gap there. It's still a gap. So doesn't matter if it's 5 cents or $5, it's still a gap. So and the reason that's significant is that's where a lot of people put stops. They'll put stops at gaps. So you want to look for those to get filled, because if you stop out, if you're short and you stop out here, you're going to start triggering these, which triggering stops on a short involves buying, which is going to help drive the price up. So target, let's take a look at target. We're looking for a move to the downside. Inside on the year, red. 2 down on the quarter. Inside on the month, but real close to breaking and going 2 down. And on the week, not very pretty on the week either. Just been a pretty ugly chart. So we're looking for a break below 210.54. And then we come down to the daily. We come back here. So our trigger is 210.54 right here. Target 1, you could reasonably say target 1's here. But I have target 1 set here at 206.21. Target 2, I think I may have actually went off the weekly chart for targets because it was so far back. There's no set rule saying where you have to find your targets. It's just what I went off of. I went off the weekly because I had to go back almost a year for targets. So I used the weekly chart on this one. So target 1 was 206.21. Target 2 is 202.76. Target 3 is 196.36. And you could go down here and take target 4, 5, 6, 7 if you wanted to. Yeah, target on target. No pun intended. Okay, lows. Take a look at lows. Home Depot's on the list too, but I like the Lowe's target just a little, or the Lowe's chart just a little bit better. Inside on the year, not looking pretty. On the quarter, inside not looking pretty. On the month, inside not looking pretty, but it did come down and almost touch this 9 SMA. Earnings is February 23rd. On the week, we had a green week last week, but we couldn't sustain it. We came up to the 9 SMA and just kind of started falling down. Actually, that's a 20 SMA and started pulling back down. So let's look for a break below 225.17. And let's look at targets here at 223.95 and 220.53. So that'll be our targets for lows. Adobe's the last one. Take a look at Adobe. Adobe's been pretty ugly. It's inside, red on the year. 2 down on the quarter. Came down to the 9 SMA and kind of bounced a little bit. Still inside month. Remember what I said, it's early in the month though. It's red on the month inside. Week, we kind of bounced a little bit. Came up almost to the 20 SMA and started pulling back down. So I'm looking for a break below 503.77 for our entry. Target 1 is going to be this low here of 480.62. So that's a $20 move for target 1. Target 2, we have to come way back here to look for these targets. Target 2 is right here at 472. target 3 is down here at 469. That's actually 468.50 right here, 468.50. There's another target here, 469.57. They're real close together. But I ignored this target because I would be selling here. This would be the ultimate target, but I always sell before I get to my target. So that'd be what I'd be looking for. That's hard to say. What I'd be looking for on Adobe. So again, thanks for watching. I'm going to try to do a February scan. I know it's, we're first week of February is done and in the books, but I'll see if there's anything out there that hasn't triggered yet, and I'll get a video out on that. And again, sorry for missing the January wrap up in the February monthly scan. Just kind of slipped my mind. So thanks again, and we'll see you guys later. Good luck this week, and see ya. Bye.